Hello survivors, I'm the SurvivalVis, and welcome back to Carnivores Fallen Kings. Now, think of last week's episode as a very rough cut of what the Fallen Kings experience should be. I guess between last beta release and certain mods and stuff done to it, what I played last week was like a rough beta towards what I think the next release may be or something of the sorts. I'll show you in the hunt menu here. So as you can see, there's actually supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 maps. The animals are the same, the weapons are hopefully what were all in the last episode, I believe so. So, there's a lot of mixing and dragging and overwriting of files you have to do in order to get things working properly. I don't know if I would recommend the weapons beta as the version you should try, because of all the back and forth you have to do. Because it can take a bit of skill knowing what files you do have to work with. So I'll probably leave a link to just the mod database page for Fallen Kings, and if you guys want to pick one or the other, I'd probably go for just the base Fallen Kings experience on its own. Another thing while I'm talking about certain things we'll be doing, in the options menu here, view range we're going to keep to default for Fallen Kings. That's one thing, to let all the foliage run properly, and that we're going to keep that as default values. Otherwise, what we saw in the video last week will be repeated. Oh, no, we don't want to exit. My bad. Didn't mean double click there. So we'll go into Hunt. And it does give us 1,000 to start with. I have a feeling that's just, well, it's kind of hard to say, because when you look at the animals for their values, you get things like 150 cost. And things like 800, so I don't really know, but we'll go to Pristine Paradise. We'll just do, I guess we'll show that off, take the double ammo, and just start with the 4 basic animals, I guess, for the mod. That probably is the best place to really begin with things. Everything's looking good, so let's go on our first proper and true Fallen Kings hunt. Okay, we're all loaded in here, and I can see why they wanted the default view range. It actually looks like, I don't know if it's enhanced or not, but... Oh, what are you? Oh, just a Hypsilophodon, and the Cardiodon. And then we have that scout pistol, the revolver rifle, the shotgun, and the scout rifle. Actually, seems like a lot of the carnivore sniper rifles all use sort of the same scope image for them. We'll probably work with the revolver rifle a bit, and start with going after the Camptosaurus. Well, we did get a reply, which is nice. Well, and you do move around. I gotta remember, you're kind of like the Brachiosaur ambience, I think. You kind of strut around, though. Yeah, it looks like some model and textures are a little rough on ya. I'm not sure exactly how long of series Fallen Kings will be, just because we have to kind of go by ear and see how it plays out with all the stuff that has to be done. Oh, there we go. And I think the Camptosaurus actually has the lowest sort of detection stats across all of the dinosaurs I've ever seen in carnivores. Oh, Lord. Where did you come from? Okay, let's restart. Oh, Lord. Spawned us right basically underneath a Cardiodon. Okay. So I guess we gotta be a lot more careful on the maps. I don't even... Was that a Tanicolagrius or something? Yeah, it's part of the roster. At least we can hear the Cardiodon's footsteps, but I was not expecting to get ambushed like that up here. We'll have to be very careful and keep a much better eye on the entire surroundings. I don't know if the small view range means things will pick us up well before we can see them or not, but we'll have to, again, just be careful. Oh! A lot of the textures and models are really rough, though. Let's try one more restart. Okay, so we're in here. I gotta be honest, I like showing a mod off when it's at its best, but Fallen Kings, it feels like this current... Even mixing these two builds together and trying for their best, it's still showing a lot of work needing to be done compared to what we've tried before. Even far north with just the single map, though, the ambient... Well, all the ambient animals and all the regular animals, everything was just a little bit more put together than Fallen Kings seems to be. Maybe we'll keep Fallen Kings to a smaller series, just that way we try to show off its best and not its worst, because it's not really fair to continually highlight like bugs or glitches or issues to an ongoing development thing. Okay, there is something out there. I also don't know if maybe because the... Oh, hello you. Damn, it's fast. Really fast, apparently. I don't see anything else, but... Again, I don't know if the view range, if things are actually able to detect us before we can see them, or they render in properly, or what, so... It's going to take some adjustments with Fallen Kings. This was, though, a rather highly requested one, so I did want to try to cover it on the channel. It may be one that we'll even put on back burner after a small run, just so that way if some more development goes into it and it improves, we can feature it again as best. It's just that for what Carnivores is, with how dense the foliage is and like how some of the textures in that seem to be coming off on models and that, it does feel like this one needs a lot more polish than anything else we've tried on the channel. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to go in there, but I guess we kind of have to track down the Camptosaurus. It's just so dense, you don't really know where anything might be. And what this reminds me a bit of is the Jurassic Park Revolution. What it was like on Isla Pena before the foliage reduction patch that they released for it. Because as nice as it is to see all the stuff, like super vegetation, well, I shouldn't say super vegetation, but very dense for vegetation and flora, it makes a game like this really hard to play because you don't really get anything like footsteps to have a sense beyond vision of where things may be. Like, there's supposedly a Psittacosaurus up this way. I don't know if we actually have it or not. I think so. I actually don't know what the Psittaco might look like. We'll have to double check in the menu for it. But if it says 200, I don't even think if we had a clear view we would see it. Okay, there is the Camptosaurus 208. Okay, we can just see it. Okay. And I do hear footsteps, I just... sound like they're up this way. Yeah, it's such a heavily vegetated... Oh! Okay, that's an Iguanosaurus. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a hard one to play on. You can barely see through everything to know where anything truly is. I think this is a case where you wanted to make an experience that really felt jungle and that, but the engine itself and how your senses are kind of make it difficult for just getting a good start in. Like, I am going to use modern hunting game comparison, you guys might get tired of hearing it, but in The Hunter Called Wild, where it is heavily vegetated like this, you can hear footsteps much more easily, so you can kind of, not so much a sense of distance, but you can at least get a gauging of direction for where things might be and where you have to look for things. If something charges you in all of this, though, I don't think you'll have a lot of time to really be able to understand and react to it. But at least it looks like we have like a beach area, so at least we have something with some visibility open.
Trophy coordinates received.
Is that different audio? That sounds a little bit different than what I'm used to for the standard audio in the game. But I must not turn tranquilizers on, so we'll probably have to do that in another episode. Was that? I don't know if that was actually that replying to the call or not. Let me try from over here. I don't really know, but with how heavily, just with how thick the brush and the bush is, we'll have to keep more to the edges if we want to try hunting. If we go in there, then again, we're basically going to get ambushed by anything hiding in there. Because unlike them, we are very limited for visibility. I think unless it's something like a solid object like a tree, oh, what do we got there? An iguanosaurus. We'll try tracking it down. Yeah, just until we can kind of get further along, we'll keep the shotgun at the ready. But on the one hand, I'm probably going to all this episode go back and forth, but it looks very nice. It just doesn't function very nicely for what Carnivores is. Oh, we got things up ahead. Yeah, we can see the blood just beyond what actually is rendering right now, so at least we have some idea of where they are going. And I'm hoping we have enough space for the jungle, the entire jungle area there. Now, if anything does come out like one of those, I think it's Tanicolagrius, but I honestly don't remember. I'll have to double check the roster. We should have the visibility that if anything does try charging us, we can see and respond to it. Unless it comes up out of the water, and in that case, yeah, we're probably not going to be so lucky. I do feel like this vegetation is a bit heavy for what you want to try to keep with Carnivores for its feel and its maps. You want it a little thick so that way... Oh, what do we got there? Okay, I don't even know if we have those on... Maybe we do have them on the roster. Right now, I'm just, again, trying to explore, see what we can. The map size is nice, I do have to admit that. It's a nice big map, even for its shape. It feels very big and large enough to be a good hunting ground. The only issue is, I don't really want to go into there because it's so hard to see into whatever's lurking just beyond the border there. Now, this is probably going to date me a little bit, but if you guys ever remember the TV show Lost, and how they basically stayed entirely along the beach, or mostly kept to the beach with how that just wall of jungle looked, that's a little bit what it feels like here. I just feels like there's such a dense vegetation and tree line that you go in, you're not going to be able to see a few feet ahead of you. Yeah, what are you? Clams, I guess? Or oysters, maybe? Something along those lines. just kind of keep going along, see if we can get anything else for a few more minutes. We may go in and onto one of the ridges. I don't know for sure yet. Yeah, this might wind up getting us killed, but it's not like we've exactly made much progress on this hunt either. It's not like we've gotten a few animals down. We're trying to save up our points. Now, how long does it take to reload you? Okay, so that is Tanicolagrius. But just goes to show you, I don't know if they could actually take us down or not. One of those definitely did, but it seemed like it was much, much bigger. It's just stuff like that where I try to figure out and learn a bit of how it all operates and functions.
Getting trophy aboard.
And that's why I'm very hesitant of going up into there, because I don't even know where that came out of. It's just all of a sudden I sort of heard it and then was looking down to our feet and it was on us. It's so hard to judge sounds in the games like this. And it makes it so that way it'd be interesting if we could go in and hunt, but we don't have any way aside from maybe using the radar of knowing where animals are with how thick things are. We don't have a way of hearing where footsteps are coming from. We don't have a... the wind we can predict a little bit, but that won't help us much there. And we also don't know how well our cover system would work. Yeah, we're going to try taking the shotgun and go in again. Probably going to get us killed. But nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? There's a Cardiodon over there we can hear. Now, if this was something... or there was a way you could have carnivores with having like an HP bar, and you could take some hits, I think this would be a much better map to have this sort of ambience to it. But with how it stands right now, where anything kind of reaches you and gets you, it feels a little too difficult in order to see or go through and do. And we're not sprinting either, so it's hard to say how easily detectable we are. I mean, that's an odd thing to have, but again, it's more experience from other games that give a cover crouch system, and you can actually get feedback on how hidden you may be. Okay, but we can try hunting along the back way here now. And I say try because, again, it's hard to say what all is out there. Because I can hear a little bit of sound, but oh, there's a Camptosaurus somewhere straight ahead that way. Oh, I just saw its head. I want to see if we can pull it out. Just want to make sure nothing else is coming up on... Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about anything behind us. So we'll just try to get it out here. I may even try moving a bit down, or change it so that way it'll be upwind of us. And of course, the wind wants to be fighting that idea. Okay, this might be our best shooting line here. We got a little bit of foliage on the left and right, but there it is. Okay, there's another one. We'll aim for maybe one more animal. We've only gotten the Camposaurus and the Tanicolagrius so far. No reply from that, so maybe we'll try for this big one. I think this is like the Iguanodon or Iguanosaurus. Or... Again, I'll have to double check the roster to see what the names are in particular. We'll just keep easing our way along the outskirts. Oh. I guess we are kind of close to the water. Going from the map, it is just to the south of us. I was just hoping, because of how we had hunted the other things, maybe they'd gotten spooked over to this region, or to the outer perimeters of the island. Well, it looks like there may even be something like a volcano by the beach. I don't know, I just see that big gray circle with a little bit of color in the middle. Generally, I associate that with volcano, but... No replies yet. We should be keeping far enough back that even if we do stumble across more of the Calagrius, we won't have to worry about them coming in or being unseen. They have to expose themselves to try to get at us. Now, let me try for the... I guess this is the Satako, I think? Yeah, no replies. We'll do a little bit of a sprint and just maybe go up the little... I guess, would this be called a cape? I don't know, go along the edge here, just try to see if we can get anything else, get a reply from something. No, that's just the mosquito. Oh, don't even know what that was. I think that's baryonyx. But again, the weird textures on it. We'll exit though. Okay, so what we can go after are things like Camposaurus, Satako, Iguano, Tanicolagrius. We saw a green one of those, and there's not a different one on the roster. That's odd. We saw one of those. Okay, maybe we saw this guy, the Strepto... Never heard of this one before. Streptospondylus. But maybe because of how dense... I wouldn't call this mild difficulty for how dense that is. That definitely doesn't fall under that degree. But next week we'll try Taurus Everglades proper, see how we do there, and see if we can hopefully get some points to try unlocking any of these other ones. It is just an odd game, and I think this is one of the rougher ones we've tried so far on this channel. So again, it might be a shorter series, but we will try to show it off at its best, and if we do a small series, we'll come back to it as development continues on it. But in the meantime, thank you guys very much for watching me on another episode of Fallen Kings, or well, just Carnivores in general. If you do like the series, be sure to leave a like or a comment down below, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. Please remember to take care, and stay alive.